Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Will and welcome to Copper Jacket TV. So it's actually been a pretty good couple days. If you didn't see my video yesterday, we talked about two major gun control bills out of the state of California that ended up failing in committee. These two bills were so bad they would have changed the Second Amendment landscape in that state forever, making that right nearly unattainable for some people. Now today we're going to be talking about two more gun control bills that have been vetoed by a state governor trying to push back against the blue wall. So let's talk about what happened. Now, real quick before we get started, if you enjoy content like this where we inform and advocate for your Second Amendment rights, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. It helps us spread our message, and it lets the powers that be know that you guys want to see content like this, which is what allows us to stay on this platform. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. Now, just in case you're not aware of what the Blue Wall is, the Blue Wall is a group of states on the West Coast that have very liberal ideologies, and those ideologies tend to seep into the states just to the east and to any other state where people migrate. And so it's called the Blue Wall because you're kind of trying to put a stop to those ideologies from creeping into the rest of the country. Those states are California, Oregon, and Washington, and the state that we're talking about today borders California. We're talking about the state of Nevada, which we've talked about quite a bit over the last few weeks, because Nevada tried to push some pretty major gun control bills through. And as a matter of fact, they passed the Senate and the Assembly with flying colors. And that's because in the state of Nevada, the legislature is comprised of a vast majority of Democrats that would love to see more California-style gun control. Now, the first bill that was vetoed by Governor Joe Lombardo, and I should mention in his response letter to vetoing this bill, he did mention that the Second Amendment is not a second-class right and shouldn't be treated as such, but he vetoed SB 89. We talked about SB 89 a lot on this channel. That was the 10-year prohibition on your Second Amendment rights for a non-violent misdemeanor if it involved a quote-unquote hate crime. So it could have been something as simple as spray painting something on the wall. You get that misdemeanor, you lose your rights for 10 years. But he points out in his response letter as well that not only does the punishment not fit the crime, but it's the only right that gets removed if somebody commits that crime. They don't lose any other right, only that one. And so again, it was disproportionate to what the actual crime was. So thankfully, he vetoed SB 89, and we don't have to worry about that one until at least next legislative session. And the other one that we talked about quite a bit on this channel that just got vetoed, I believe again yesterday, was AB 245. AB 245 was absolutely terrible because it would have banned anybody under the age of 21 from owning, purchasing, or possessing a semi-automatic rifle or shotgun. So it was a semi-auto ban for anybody under the age of 21. These are law-abiding, legal adults that can enter into contracts, join the military, buy a car, buy a house, get married, do everything else, but for some reason, the Nevada State Legislature would like them to wait on that one particular right. Thankfully, the governor vetoed that. Now, there's no official statements that have been released yet from the governor as to why he vetoed these. He did leave a comment on 245 saying that he believed that it would be unconstitutional to do so, and so he ended up vetoing it. But again, this is, to my knowledge, the first major test that he's had in this space, and it's nice to know that the checks and balances are working. So while the left has a supermajority, pretty much a supermajority in the legislature, it's nice to know that having a governor that can veto stuff like this, who is more conservative, we don't have to worry as much. However, things can always change, ideologies can change, and so we have to always stay on top of these things. But for now, the governor, Joe Lombardo of the state of Nevada, has vetoed both SB 89 and AB 245, which is fantastic. Add that to the two bills that failed in California yesterday, and even though it's not everything, we're making progress. And any progress is good progress. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. Those bills are vetoed. They're gone. So anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you guys have a great weekend.